Hello, everybody. It's Amanda and Maria here, and we are here today to talk about starting a business in 30 seconds. And Maria is going to, she's going to explain further on that. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today, and we will be having more shows every week. So I'll let
Yes,
Maria take the
yes.
lead.
Thank you. Thanks, Amanda. So nice to do this whole series of how to start a business on a zero budget, which you and I both have done a number of times. And this one here is, I wish it was 30 seconds, but it's not, it's 60 seconds. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about on Business Renegades, and you can find us on our YouTube channel, is how to start a business in under 60 seconds. And I know that Amanda is uploading on Spotify the same show, and I'm adding it to my website also. So you'll be able to go and look at it and listen to it if you miss anything. And please do tell your friends of how they can start their business under 60 seconds. And just because the way things are right now, Amanda, and you and I both have talked about this many times, is that it's very difficult now with the way the economy is. And you and I were talking about that in Ontario, our debt is about 32%. And you and I were saying it's going to go up to 50%. So with the Ford government, with what is going on here, Canada is really having a hard time, along with all the other countries, not only because of the oil, but also because businesses just aren't doing well these days. There's no customers. If you don't have a job, how can you make money to go out, to the cinema or go to a restaurant or go any place? So that's why Amanda and I were sitting down, kind of brainstorming what kind of a course could we produce that would help all kinds of people. So we started with how to start a business in under 60 seconds. And yes, you can do it. And I'm going to explain to you. So, and we're going to be looking at this. You don't give up your day job when you start your business. That I think is the number one mistake people do. You keep your day job and you build your business very, very slowly. So here we go. Is this, let's look at this. You're going to be looking at this as something you can do after hours. And Amanda's going to be talking about how to market the business. We're going to be going into various ways of how you start a business, how you get started without you losing a job or giving it up. So what you have to do is we build a prompt. There's going to be a prompt that you're going to be building, and you're going to be using artificial intelligence, which is what you need to start doing to help you with your business. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going to a prompt, and you can do it while we're doing it together. I'm not going to be doing it right now. I don't know what's going on here, but my computer is acting up. So what you want to do is when you put your prompts in, and what prompts mean actually is your directions. You're telling the AI what to look for you. So the more direct you are, the better your results are going to be. So here we go. You're going to want to be direct, challenge weak assumptions, optimize for proof and not perfection. Certainly it's not going to happen, until you get really good at what you're going to do as a business. It's going to take years and not days, and certainly not months. So we're going to do this as, first of all, you find a job title. So all you're going to do is find a job title. So let's say your job is a secretarial job. You can put in what you're doing right now, and you're going to ask it, what kind of business can I do from this? So you don't have to start from scratch looking all over the world what kind of business you can have. You can start a business with your skills. And Amanda and I both understand that, right, Amanda? You have to start with your skills that you have right now until you build your other skills. So here we go. If you have a resume, you can drag it into ChatGPT. So, and tell it you've added it to the thread. So I'm telling you exactly what you have to tell ChatGPT, but we can always send this out to you. If you want to know more, we can put it on Substack, or you can just send an email to remnn2018@gmail.com and say, hey, Maria, how do I start a business within 60 seconds? Okay. The other idea is you'll often get a clear business idea in under 60 seconds, believe it or not. Like when I started my business, I didn't have any choice. I couldn't do anything. So what you do is you insert this in ChatGPT. You currently work as a secretary, maybe you're working as a farmer, maybe you're working in retail, in a bar, or wherever you're working, it doesn't matter. So your job is to design the simplest possible path for me to earn my first $100 online using skills I already have. So these are the prompts you're giving ChatGPT. However, this is what you're telling ChatGPT. This is your secretary that's helping you. However, you must assume the following about me. I have a full-time job, which is good. I have limited time, 5 to 10 hours per week because of family or other obligations. I may have a family and other responsibilities. I cannot risk quitting a job. I think that's the worst thing that anyone can do is quit your job for something you know nothing about. And you think that because you start a business, it's like having a job where you get money within the first 2 weeks. You have zero money coming in because you haven't marketed anything. And that's where Amanda's going to be talking to you about marketing later on. The other thing is, I cannot spend months researching or building something complex. I need something simple enough that I can actually execute. So this is what you write up in ChatGPT. So you're telling it like you would a secretary. This is what this is what I need from you. I need you to help me start a business. There are rules that you give to ChatGPT. Do not give me 20 ideas. That's the worst thing you could do. Do not suggest passive income influencer or content creator models. Do not suggest complex funnels, paid ads, or advanced tech. Prioritize simple services or offers that solve real problems people already have. So that's basically when you start a business, you're just resolving a problem that these people have that they don't know how to resolve, right? The opportunity must be possible to start. Listen to this, Amanda, within 24 hours. Require minimal tech, fit into evenings or weekends, allow me to earn my first $100 quickly, have a realistic path to scaling to $1,000 to $10,000 a month over time. I'm going to stop right now. Amanda, when you started your business, did you have other jobs on the side like I did?
Oh, yes. I absolutely, when I first started as an author, I was working full time
Mm-hmm.
and I started building a portfolio and learning how to create content, learning how to do different things. But I still worked part time. This was
Sure.
mostly just in my spare time. I had to invest time
Mm-hmm.
into learning and mastering my craft. And I had to learn the industry because I didn't understand the problems
Yes.
if I wasn't working the industry or I wasn't on the front lines of that industry. You can't solve the issues if you're not directly in that industry, right? So it took a long
Absolutely.
time.
It does. I mean, me too. I went and found 7 jobs in 7 days. I'm the woman who started, working for many companies while I was building my business on the side. But you know what it is, Amanda, for me, I had a goal in mind. So I didn't mind spending those hours working because I was going towards a goal of starting my business first, second, buying a house, second, and third, getting a car. How do I get around otherwise, right? So how did you do yours? Did you have a goal in mind, Amanda?
I did, and one of the goals I had was to become a better author and understand publishing more.
Mhm.
And opportunities kept arising, and I kept learning, putting myself out there, and kind of continuing to learn while working full time
Sure.
and also working on other skill sets as well. So, my business and what I built, I did as a slow build while I worked
Hmm.
because you, I knew going into business, I didn't want to accumulate a lot of debt. I noticed people in business that accumulate a lot of debt really quickly, their business kind of plummeted pretty just as quick. So I knew that
Yes.
from watching other things happen in life experience. So I didn't want to do that. So
Hmm.
I did a lot of research and stuff like in your spare time,
Yeah.
figuring out what problems I could solve, what I needed to learn to be able to become more articulated in my industry as well. So it's a working progress. And I spent 20 years in leadership and learning business and doing all these different things. So it's a continual process,
It
but
is.
it is worth it in the end because you have your freedom,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what most people want.
Yeah, most entrepreneurs, and there's a price to pay. Like, I don't know, if I don't go out and hustle, I don't make any money. And you're the same. See, there's no money just coming in automatically. You have to hustle to make that dollar, every day. So you're always on alert. Just like let's say you're a real estate agent. Well, you have to hustle, otherwise you don't make any money. And like if you're a waitress, yeah, you're making money, but you have to hustle and be even better in order to get a good tip that adds more money towards you that you could put towards starting a business. So there's no free ride, everyone. And Amanda and I are perfect examples. Two single women working hard. She has a family. I didn't have a family. So, I mean, that was because I chose that. But she had a family. She was able to do all of this plus have her children. So that's, having children is not an excuse. There's always time in the day, maybe when they're sleeping, that you can go and start your business. There's, Amanda, what they say is where there's a will, there's a way, right? There always is a way of doing something. Okay, so then you provide to ChatGPT the single best opportunity based on your job skills. This is what you're telling AI. The exact problem I should solve. So this is somebody who wants to hire you. What problem should you be able to solve? Who would pay for this? What kind of person would be paying for it? Is it someone who's just starting out, someone who has a website, they need somebody to build a better website, work on cards, they want you to come up with a design for cards, whatever it is that you're good at that you're doing right now. Where can I find my first potential customers? And we'll go into that later on, not today, but another day, of how to network and how that important that is. The simplest possible offer, call, template, checklist, service, etc. A way to validate the idea before building anything. Yes, do not worry about building anything. You don't even know if you have customers or not. A simple weekly schedule showing how I could do this in 5 to 10 hours per week. That's all you want to do. However, the way you want to do it. A basic system I could build over time to scale this. What you have to do with AI is be direct, challenge weak assumptions, optimize for proof, not perfection. Try it with your job title. Now, you can always change your job title. You can do this many times, but really, really keep it simple. So, Amanda, did you want to add anything to this?
Yeah, and I think that when you're first starting out, it's a good test because as an entrepreneur, nobody's really there to assign you tasks or tell you what to do. And if you can't manage this part-time, then you're really going to know if you're gonna have the drive and the discipline to bring it home
Yeah,
full time.
full time.
Because if you can't commit part-time, then you might start something and
Yeah.
not get very far with it. So you've got to have discipline and drive. And a lot of people, they give up. And you can't be someone who gives up easily because businesses take time to build. And a lot of people I noticed in the business world, they give up so easily. And, you put in decades upon decades of learning and mastering skills, and
Yeah.
that's what it takes.
It
And
does. It does. Well, when I was talking earlier today, Amanda, that when I started my business in New York City, I was working for someone until I took over the franchise operation on Long Island in Queens in New York City. We had nothing more than just a typewriter and the phone, and we had the answering machine, right, in the office. But as I went into business and I moved from New York City to come to Canada, I learned all these skills like internet, um, all the social media in the 2000s. But when I left New York City, I left in 1986. They didn't have any of this. But somebody built my first website in 1993 because I could see that was the way we were going. So you have to be ahead of everyone else in order to become successful.
Yeah.
And that takes practice. You have to just be there learning as you're going all the time. I know you and I are spending hours. I'm spending hours learning new skills. I mean, when I first heard about ChatGPT in 2022, I embraced it because I thought, oh my God, look what it can do. And it took time for me to learn it, right? I made
Yeah.
lots of mistakes. I didn't understand prompts, giving
No.
directions. And so I was studying on YouTube. I mean, you can learn everything for free on YouTube, but I could see that I wouldn't have to hire an administrative assistant, Amanda.
Yeah.
That thing, ChatGPT, is my administrative assistant.
It's true. It's true. You have to be someone who solves problems, but also foresees potential risks and problems in an industry.
Yes.
And you've got to be creative. You can't copy everybody else. You've got to be, your own person that sees things. So
Yes.
ahead of the times. And if you can do that, then you'll do amazing in business because
Yes.
just because you think something's an issue, it may not be an issue. So you've got to connect with people, find out what they're experiencing, find out what they need. And you've got to connect with real people because I think that's what happens in a lot of industries is they become out of touch with reality and what their clients or
Yes.
their customers or consumers are actually dealing with. So
Mhm.
that becomes a loss and a risk for a business, especially a small business just starting out, because your customer base isn't strong enough for, big gaps and mistakes. So I
Yes.
think you're right now. We have amazing tools at our fingertips and
Mhm.
if they're utilized right, then you can really excel. But you have to be willing to try the tools instead of running from them, And I think a lot of people
Yes.
they get intimidated. They
Um,
don't they don't want to try new things. And in business, if you have that kind of mentality, you end up getting left behind.
yeah.
So you have to roll with the times as well. There's that aspect too.
And Amanda, since it's just starting out, so you can always say, today I'm not going to do this because I don't feel up to it. But you and I, we do all the time, right? I'm just going to go and lay down because I can't handle the stress. So I lay down, then I can get back up and I just continue, right?
Mhm.
So nothing is instant.
No.
Contrary to what they're showing on YouTube or any of the social media, and just try and make $1. Like, we don't want you to make 1,000. You're never going to make 1,000. Do you know how to even make 1,000 on your own? And I'm not saying you earn it. This is your business. Who's going to give you $1,000? You have to earn it. You have
Mhm.
to provide something for them. And this is what I say. I always find that Canadians really don't know how to start a business. Because when I first moved here from New York City in 1986, I was the only woman consultant and contractor that was moving around and doing, I had 7 jobs in 7 days. Somebody says, what are you doing that for? I said, this is my business, because they're all employees. Now, they made very good money in those days. You don't make that good anymore, but they didn't understand. I was the only entrepreneur. Really, basically, Amanda, you and I are true entrepreneurs. And that's what it's all about. Being a
Yep.
true entrepreneur, you have to make your own money. Nobody's going to give it to you without you earning it. So I
No.
think it's all in the mindset. Forget about making $1,000. Try and make your first dollar. Try and make your first $10. Let's see if you can do that. So certainly what I've gone through now, you can get, if you didn't have time to take it down, you can send me an email at remnn2018@gmail.com and just say, hey, how do I start a business in 60 seconds? And Amanda, do you want to give them your information where they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can get a hold of me at magneticpublishing2023 at gmail.com. and or you can get a hold of us directly on our YouTube channel, and we'll get you answered back and hopefully get you some help. If you're curious about more stuff and more of our courses and shows as well.
Yes. So you go on YouTube and you find us under Business Renegades, and Amanda's working on that website. You can go on my website, and it's realwealthrealestate.com, or you can listen to my radio station. It's called realwealthradio.ca, and you can hear business shows 24 hours a day. And Amanda and I have a number of shows there. Did you want to let them know your website, Amanda?
Oh yeah, so also you can visit my website at www.magnetic-publishing.ca. And I just wanted to say thank you all for your time.
Yes, thank you. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video on YouTube. Take care. Bye bye now.